Okay, welcome back. We're at Witerring, RAF Witerring, and we're going to Cranwell. Cranwell is the Royal Air Force College. That's where they train the officers for the Royal Air Force. Although my father was an officer in the Royal Air Force and he didn't go to Cranwell. He was in the days of national service though, so I suppose things were a little different. He did some flying training at Digby, which is just up the road, with tiger moths and things like that. So it's just north of Witerring, Cranwell. We've got the map out. So let's see, north is that way. Fuel is good. We've got loads of fuel on board. Everything's in the green arcs. So brakes off and let's get ourselves into the hover. If everything's okay, we shall be flying off to RAF Cranwell. There we go. Oh, everything looks in the green there. Doesn't look to be any particular problems at all. No problems. Turn the helicopter with the rudder pedals till we face north. There we are. Clear to cross the active. Let's go. And there is something on the runway. Look, coming down the runway. Oh no, it's a truck in the distance. Right. Wheels up. Green lights are off. Accelerating well, everything's in the green arc, nothing on the caution panel. Cranwell, here we come. Just had breakfast at Witerring. Had a burger and egg burger. Very nice as well. Angus beef, you know. Decent beef burgers. It's worth paying extra for a decent beef burger. I think so. Right. The power's set just right there. More wires going over the pylon. We'll follow that main road there. Ball is in the middle. Caution panels showing no problems, everything seems in the green. Time is coming up to 12:10 in the UK. Today, which I think is the 5th of March 2024. This is real time and weather. VR flight simulator in the Sea King RAF rescue helicopter, which I think is really cool actually. I really like it. So I've got the ADF tuned in for Cranwell, and that is, I'll show you which instrument I'm following. That one there. I'm keeping that needle to the top. If I going off course to the left, watch this, will go off to the right. And so all I need to do to head back towards Cranwell is turn the aircraft to the right until that needle goes to the top. Okay. There. Roll out, and that's pointing towards Cranwell for me. I don't really need to do anything else. I've got this down here, this is set to airports, so I can't really see Cranwell yet. All these little blips there, they are airports. And I've got the map, of course. I'm here and Cranwell is here. So we'll just enjoy the ride. I need to trim the helicopter because it's a bit nose up at the moment. I need to trim it nose down. There we are. It's a bit too much. Now I'm sinking. Should be able to let go of the joystick. It's rolling off to the left. So I need to put a bit of right trim in there. But you get the drift. Okay, so where's my needle? Needle's a bit off to the right, so I'll bring it to the right a bit. There we go. Needle's now pointing up again. Just enjoy the ride. Now sometimes with ADF and VOR, when you're really low, you can't pick up the signal from the beacon. Okay, so you need a bit of altitude because it's radio waves travel in straight lines. And if you're too low, you won't be able to pick up the signal. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But you can't rely on it if you are flying low, which is where GPS comes in. Because GPS, doesn't matter how low you are, you can be on the ground and GPS will work. That's how your sat-nav works in your car. As long as your antenna can see the satellites in space, then it will work. Unless you're under a bridge or in a tunnel or something like that, or with lots of high-rise buildings around you. And it blocks the vision of the unit, but there's nothing blocking the vision of the unit in an aircraft. So long as the system is up and running, it should work perfectly well. Got a gap in the trees here, but is it wide enough for my helicopter? I have to be prepared to just pull up. If it's not, I think it was just about. Of course, in the old days, before GPS and beacons and things, all you had was a map and a stopwatch, and you just draw a line, steer a compass heading, and hit the button on the stopwatch. And it's called dead reckoning. Oh, wires? No, it's a telegraph pole. Okay, better safe than sorry. Okay, come a bit more to the right now, get the needle back to the top. There we are, roll out, check my map. Yes, everything's looking good. What pilots usually do is they fly in pairs, and one's flying the aircraft and the other one's navigating. And if you fly on your own, you've got to do both, so the workload is increasingly higher, plus you've got to fiddle with all the radios to put the correct frequencies in and be calling up the appropriate people, asking for flight tracking, flight information, that sort of thing. It's all faff. But air traffic control can be jolly useful and jolly helpful. They're not there to boss you around, they'll be the police of the sky, they're there to help. They're there to make sure everyone is safe. So if you run into any problems, you can call air traffic control. If you run out of visibility, for example, they're brilliant. You can call them up, ask for radar vectors to somewhere else, and they'll guide you in. So you have to be able to fly in instruments. But not having an instrument rating does not mean you can't fly in instruments, because you can. It's all part of the pilot's license course, is you have to be able to fly in instruments. An instrument rating is something completely different. It is flying on instruments, obviously, but it's different. Don't worry about instrument ratings if you're just learning to fly, because you'll come to that later. If you need to have an instrument rating, you can practice for one, but you will need to fly in instruments just to be able to fly an aeroplane. Okay, that's all basic training. .di .altitude. They put things called foggles on your when you're flying long, so it restricts your vision, peripheral vision, and forward vision, and all you can see is angled down at the instruments. So your instructor will be there in broad daylight, keeping a good lookout for other aircraft, and you'll just be on instruments, and he'll be giving you headings and things, and it's dead easy. It's not difficult at all. Do not be afraid. It's a very, very useful training aid. In fact, flight simulators on a screen are an excellent training aid for instrument flying. Put it at night so you can't see anything anyway, and just fly in instruments. Flight plan your course. Have your stopwatch, and make sure you are aware of the height, the maximum height of obstacles on the ground, and make sure you flight plan to fly clear of those obstacles at night, so you're never going to bang into anything, hopefully. Okay. The VOR that you can see there, we are still tuned into Witerring, so the DME is counting up, but it's just as good, because you know it gives us DME to wherever we're going. We've measured it on the map, we know how far away it is, so we can DME minus, really counting away to find out how many miles we are from our starting point. So we're not going to go past our target airfield if we don't have VOR DME. It's really easy, actually. You know, when you it looks complicated at first when you look at all the dials. You think, wow, what's going on? There's so many knobs and switches. You think, but most of it you don't even need to touch. You really don't. And what you do need to touch is quite simple to operate. As I said, learning to fly a helicopter. If you do it in VR, in Flight Simulator, it'll take you about 6 hours to get your brain switched on, that you've got to work all three controls at the same time. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Like I say, average is about, I find with my students, is about 6 hours. 6 hours you can handle it, and it takes a lifetime to master it, of course. A quick check of the map, not far to go now. We should be sighting Cranwell in the next few minutes. And then of course we'll be heading on towards Waddington, Lincoln Cathedral, Lincoln Castle, and we'll be heading up to Scampton in later flights. It's amazing how many airfields are just off the A1, because the A1 was the main road north, the Great North Road, and so they just build airfield after airfield along that road. You had to go to London, you just jump on the A1 and there you are. You had to go to the War Office. Up into the War Office. few times. The old War Office. It's called Raffles Hotel now. Superb. You must go to Raffles Hotel if you go to London. I strongly recommend it. I really do. I think the smallest beer money can buy is about £9. And afternoon tea was for two of us. We had afternoon tea. I was in hospital, you see, the same night. We went for afternoon tea at Raffles, and then I had to get the tube to the hospital, and I had an operation the next day, major surgery, so it was a celebration. And yes, it was expensive, but a friend treated us, so we said, yeah, let's do it. We had afternoon tea for two, and at Raffles Hotel, the old War Office, and it was absolutely amazing. It was a memorable occasion that I shall not forget. Okay, this is it. We're here. This should be it. The college, I think, is at the far end over there somewhere. No, it's here. It's not on the airfield. It's here, there. Oh dear. This is where all the young oiks come to learn all about aeroplanes and how to march and be in the RAF and talk like this. I say. I say, chaps. Nice to have some wheels. The switch has been engaged. 1, 2 green lights. There we are. This is RAF Cranwell College. There's the gates. There's the road. That's where the bus pulls up. And the airfield is on the other side. There we are. Is this where the regimental sergeant major rides his horse up the steps? So there's that Sandhurst. That could be Sandhurst, I'm not sure. It's one of them. One of them. Was I ever in the Royal Air Force? No, I wasn't. I'm very pleased to say. I would have liked to have been when I was a boy, but now that I am much older, I'm very glad that I wasn't, because I can fly anything that they can fly. In fact, I probably do more hours than the RAF, and I don't have to polish my boots. There we go. Welcome to RAF Cranwell, home of the Royal Air Force. Clock's slow, look, it's 25 past 12 and it's showing 5 past. There you go. Can't have everything. Thanks for watching.